and welcome back to the Colour Cave, where we like to play with art stuff. My name is Jem, and today I have the Scrawlrbox for you. Today we are going to unbox and we are going to see what's in it and take on the Scrawler Challenge. So this is the monthly art subscription box from the UK. Some supplies that should go together, and some arty inspiration as well as a prompt. You also get a sticker and a sweet in this box as well, which is kind of fun. Oh, I see animal print. How exciting. Yeah. Okay, so first things first, this is our Scrawler zine, and this is the little trove of information about the supplies, but you also get information on the featured artist that is provided in the box as well, and some inspiration, hints, tips, and sometimes a little bit of art history as well, so we'll look at that afterwards. Here is our featured artist, and oh, this looks like pastel pencils. Oh, this is nice. I do like a good animal drawing, and that's pretty nice. I like that a lot. So our featured artist is Cecilia Anchustegui. I really hope I've pronounced that right. I'm really sorry, Cecilia, if I haven't. Anchustegui, I'm going to say. Born in Mexico City, 21 years old, and an animation student. So as per usual, the links to their social media is down here. So Cecilia has an Instagram and a TikTok as well, so you can check out some more of her work. Recently, Scrawlrbox have been giving us a lot of A5 pads, and it's either their own paper or they've done it in conjunction with someone, and this month is no exception. We have some toned drawing paper, A5, so this is almost like craft paper, and it's got a little bit of texture on it. I can feel it. We've got quite a few sheets there as well. 10 sheets, 115 GSM, so that is quite thin paper. So our sweet is a Swizzles. This looks like a what do you call these? A butterscotch type sweetie. We have a Statler graphite sharpener, and it's a 2-hole sharpener. I love these really basic metal sharpeners, and it's because you can replace the blades. You literally just unscrew these. You can buy replacement blades of your favourite brand on the internet, and they're like a standard size, so they fit in. That is a really hefty, sturdy sharpener. I like this a lot. I'm really excited about this sharpener because they're usually really good as well. What else have we got? We've got a Unipin fine liner. I love the Unipin fine liners. I actually still sell them in the stash shop, but this is a brush tip, and it's an extra fine. Oh, it's an extra fine brush tip. This is exciting. Look. For those of you that know me well, you know I like a teeny tiny fine liner. A teeny tiny brush is no exception, and I have not tried one of these, so I am super excited. And see if I like this, I'm going to start getting them for the stash shop as well. The Unipin fine liners sell really well. They're really reliable, and the waterproof and fade proofness of the ink is really, really good in these, so I'm super happy to have one of them. We have an eraser, a Factus eraser. I think it's made in Spain. That's nice. A P36. It feels quite bendy. It's quite soft. And I'm not sure. I don't think that is a plastic eraser. It does feel like rubber, but we'll find out again, hopefully. Here's our little scrawler sticker. And I like to match this up. Now, I don't think it fits in with the artwork, but I do think it fits in here. I don't know where the pattern is, though. Okay, I can't fit this in anywhere. Fail. Oh no. You know how I said that I think this is pastel pencils? If it is pastel pencils and it's Derwent ones, I might try a wee bit. I love Derwent products. Most of you know that. I use loads of Derwent products, but I absolutely can't stand their pastel pencils. Oh, yay! I'm so happy it's not their pastel pencils. We've got Chromaflow pencils. Oh yeah, this is great. Okay, I'm much happier, much happier. The Derwent Chromaflow pencils, I did a massive video during Cavemas and compared all of the Derwent coloured pencils, and the Chromaflow pencils were in there. These pencils are absolutely outstanding. They are super cheap in terms of artist grade pencils. These are a budget pencil, and the amount of pigment that's in these is absolutely bananas. So I will link all the Derwent pencils video in the end card and down in the description for you if you'd like to see them in action against some of the more expensive Derwent ranges. But I really like these pencils. I know they've brought out some more colours, and this looks like some of these might be from the new colour range. So we've got quite a muted colour palette here as well, which I like also. I'm particularly excited about the green, which is foliage, and also this one here, which is basil. So we'll get to work and do something cool with those. Oh, I'm so happy it's not pastel pencils. Oh, I'm excited. I'm actually really excited. Let's take a look at the Scrawler zine very quickly, and then we can get down to business. So here's the overview of the supplies and the interview with the featured artist. Oh, she's a smiley girl. Hello, Cecilia. And I like sitting, obviously a big fan of drawing animals, so it really appeals to me. I shall sit and read that later. Okay, talking about the pencils and a few tips and tricks here. Okay, she's talking about blending here as well. People ask her why they're so well blended. She's talking about blending as a last step, so that burnishing effect. So she says she presses hard and does tiny circles, so that's the scumbling technique between the colours she wants to blend. That is one of many ways that you can do it. I tend to do it in light layers, and anyway, that's not important. Sometimes she blends with a white coloured pencil. I tend not to do that, but a lot of people like to do that, and I was talking about that recently in one of the last videos that we did, colour and chat videos, talking about using a white pencil. Behind the artwork, so she's explaining about the featured artwork in the box there. Things to try. Chromaflow pencils are fantastic for blending and layering. I can attest to that. I have used them. I like them very much. Okay, so there's tips here on creating colour gradients and then how to blend them as well. These pencils are extremely smooth, yes they are. And burnishing as well talks about, there's loads of really, really good information in here. When shading or covering large areas, hold your pencil sideways to shade with the broadest edge of the pencil lead. This will help keep your layers light, smooth and controlled. Yes, so a combination of holding the pen on its side, but also holding it quite far back from the barrel actually doesn't allow you to press really hard. So it means you can build up those layers and you'll get a much smoother, nicer blend if you do that. Some really great pencil tips in there. Here's the scroller gallery. This is one of my favourite parts. I love this. Oh, look. Oh, this is amazing. I never did the scroller challenge for this. This was when I wasn't well, and this was the Derwent pastel paint tin. So it's really nice for me to sit and look at these images because I just completely didn't get anywhere near this. I quite like this seahorse as well. I like the painterly effect. But this one up here, this sea turtle, is absolutely my favourite. Oh, a little bit on colour theory. Oh, I like this. They're talking about the colour wheel, which I still use an actual physical colour wheel sometimes if I'm going for slightly more odd combinations just to make sure they're going to work. Colour harmony and colour context. So this is actually really useful information. I'm right into stuff like this. They're talking about Earth Day as well, and it's on the 22nd of April, so it's actually past. And they're talking about how many trees they've planted, and that's because of the boxes. When you buy a box, they plant trees basically. So there's a little bit more information about that. And that is our scroller zine, short and sweet. Let's take a look at the supply info. The Chromaflow pencils, guaranteed bold, vibrant, saturated colour, wax based, rich and creamy laydown, yes. Formulated with rich pigments, yes. But will show up on toned papers as well, even on black, yes. The A5 toned drawing pad. Oh, a great all-round surface that is suitable for a myriad of mediums, including charcoal, colour pencil, pastel chalks and more. Yes, so dry media. I wouldn't advise using any wet media on this toned paper because it's only 115 GSM, so that makes sense. The natural brown tone sheets will give your artwork an organic and rustic ambience, perfect for elemental or earthy creations. The extra fine brush pen. This fade-proof and water-resistant pigment ink fine line pen is often a first choice amongst artists and designers. Brush tip is firm but flexible, so it will adapt seamlessly to any pressure, angle or speed. It's a 2-in-1 that will provide you with excellent control for delicate line work as well as expressive brush pen painting techniques for any creative project. The double sharpener. 2 holes cover a wide range of pencil sizes. Extra long guiding slot to prevent wedging or breaking, prolonging your pencil's lives. That was one thing I will say with the Chromaflow pencils. Sometimes you do get a lot of breakages, and it's because they're really soft and creamy. The eraser, soft and flexible eraser, and it's designed to work on a wide range of delicate surfaces. So this is a softer eraser, and obviously when you've got 115 GSM paper, that's something that you really want. So that's really helpful as well. Recommended retail price, 85 pence. So we'll quick test these supplies out and then we're going to jump into the scroller challenge. So the first thing I'm going to test out this fine liner because I'm a little bit excited about this, I'm not going to lie. Oh, please be nice. Oh, look how fine that line is. Oh. Now what's interesting is because of the texture in this paper, I'm actually not getting a consistent line. There's parts of the paper that are popping through. So I think that's one of these ones where we'd have to go back over. And it is feathering at the edges. And again, it's the paper that's doing that. It's not the pen. but I can fill those in. Oh, it's really nice. Can you see there? I don't know if you can see the edges, but they're just a little bit ragged. And see, it's not the brush, it's the paper. But that's lovely. Oh, I'm in love with this pen. It's really nice. Unboxing the amount of boxes that I unbox, it's so nice to get something that you haven't tried and that is good quality and that you get excited about. Like, this is, yeah, okay. Not ideal on this paper if you're wanting really solid lines, but it's going to give you a nice effect and nice texture in the context of the Scrawler Challenge, so that's really good as well. Right, let's have a little go here and see how our white shows up. Oh yeah, that's fairly good actually. And as I said, and these pencils are, they're pretty cheap. And when I say that, I mean in reference to the other ranges available by Derwent. These are a very affordable set of pencils. I don't know what the prices are like now, but I initially bought a 24 set of the Chroma Flow, and that was the largest size that was out at the time, like, you know, the widest range. And I paid something like £12 for them. I think they've gone up in price now, but even at that, these are still great pencils. This yellow colour is really nice, and this is one of these ones where you could use the tone of the paper as, you know, a lighter area, like a highlighted version. That's quite nice. I like that. That is Golden Sun. I think I've got some of these pencils. Foliage, I've definitely. And these are coming up quite nicely on this paper. I've also got Raisin. Loving the colour names. And we have a black as well. They could have given us another colour other than black because we've got a black pen here. They've missed a trick there. Okay, yeah, I'm quite happy with these. They feel just like I remember, which wasn't that long ago, to be fair. It was around Christmas time. So the other thing I want to try is the eraser. Now, obviously, where we've pressed really hard, it's not going to take away the pencil. Oh, goodness, just dropped one. It's not going to take away 3 or 4 layers of pencil. That you're asking too much with that. But if I come to the edges here where I've got less pencil, you know, it's just one layer, and I love these erasers because of the shape of them, because you can get into really tight spaces. And if I just try and take this away, you can see there, even with the black pencil, that has lifted quite a lot of the coloured pencil, so that's really, really good. It's good if you start using a colour and perhaps you've lifted the wrong pencil by accident, or if you just realise it's not going to go. That gives you the chance to be able to change it, because generally once you get going, it's usually very difficult to erase coloured pencil completely. Yeah, that's, I mean, on the green there as well, that's pretty good. We're getting a lot of eraser dust, but you can't have it always. Okay, so we're a thumbs up. Even on the darker colours here, it's done a really good job. The last thing I'm going to do is try sharpening one of these pencils. Okay. That is a very, very pointy point. I see these pencils are quite soft, so I'm not sure how long that pointy point's going to last, but that is spectacular. Sattler, thank you for an amazing sharpener. So that's the little hole, because these are quite skinny pencils. Again, the kind of premium range of Derwent pencils are actually a lot chunkier, like the barrel diameter's bigger. These slimmer ones fit perfectly in the little hole on this sharpener. Okay, I'm excited. Let's get down to the Scrawler Challenge. Oh, walk on the wild side. Let's take a wander in the wilderness, taking inspiration from this month's featured... I wish someone would check the typos. It says taking inspitation. Don't you spit at me. Taking inspiration from this month's featured artist, we're encouraging you to delve deep into the jungle kingdom of your imagination. Get creative with textures, colour depths, mark making, and building up your line work to explore the wild side of your artwork. Alright, so I'm all set up and ready to go. I've had a little bit of doodle in my sketchbook to decide what I'm doing, but also in the interim I have sharpened all of the Derwent pencils, and this happened. This is not uncommon with these pencils, just because they are quite soft, but this core was very crumbled all the way through, so I have lost a significant chunk of this pencil. And this was one of my comments about these pencils. They're not available open stock, so to replace one pencil you'd have to buy a set. Yeah, that's just the downside, but obviously taking into account cost, so I just thought I would mention that before we get started. What I've decided to do here, coloured pencil is a medium that is very slow to work in, so I'm going to take quite a bit of time over this drawing. And what I shall do is at the end I'll tell you how long I've actually spent on it, because obviously you're only going to see like weeny little snippets of it, but this might take a couple of hours. maybe more. We'll see how it goes. So I've decided to go for an animal. It's not technically a jungle animal. It's a white-nosed coati or a coatimundi. And they, you can find them in various habitats, but they are found in the jungle. The facial markings reminds me a little bit like a badger, which is obviously a very common animal here in the UK. I'm really excited to use this toned drawing paper for this purpose. So my idea here is he's going to be like peeking over like a log or a branch or something. So I've got his little paws coming over the front here. Try and get, they've got little sort of tufts that poke out either side, so I'm trying to make sure that I get that in without making it too exaggerated. And I'm just putting placements in where their markings are, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to draw this little dude, because they've got really interesting markings on their face. And because we've got the white pencil as well, I really wanted to give that a try. So I'm just marking in roughly where these lines should be with my graphite pencil here. Fairly happy with the layout now, so I'm just going to take away some of these construction lines. Ideally we want as little graphite as possible on the paper because we don't want to muddy up our colours. And off we go with some colours. So first of all I just want to block in very lightly what colours are going where, and this is something I do all the time. And it just really helps me to get a picture right in my mind. Some of them have this white all the way up the side of their jawline. And some of them only have it for a portion of it. Some of it goes all the way up to their ear. And now this is where the real fun starts. Going in for some longer strokes here, just on this kind of the top of his head area, and it's just because the angle of, obviously his head's curved, so we want to kind of give that impression, but I'm just going with the flow here and what the paper wants to do. I'm trying to keep these strokes as light as possible so that I can really build it up. I have to say this sharpener is really, really good for getting a really pointy point. That's working well for me. So he's looking reasonably cute. I'm quite happy with this. To try and fit in other parts of his body, because obviously some of that's going to be tucked down behind here, but for the scope of this particular artwork I don't think it's worth bothering about hugely. But I'm going to pencil in some of my leaves here. Some of them have kind of disappeared a little bit, but we'll get back to that and we'll get everything all sorted and handy dandy. I still haven't decided if I'm going to do anything with the background, and I think really now it's purely a time-based thing, if I'm honest, because I'm kind of running short on time here. Got a couple of bigger leaves in behind as well, so I'll get these penciled in a little bit too. So I'm just sticking in some really rough colour here, because what I want to do is I want to be able to put in the trunk next. Just get a little bit of variation. And they're layering up pretty well. Again, this paper's maybe not the best for this kind of thing, but I'm managing fine with it. And you can see from the leaves up the top, I've managed to get some nice shades going on there. So you can see there I'm starting to get a nice kind of ochre colour. And that's what kind of started to pop out up here around the top of the coatie. Okay, we've done a bit of work down the bottom, and I'm just wanting to add in a vine or two up the top here. Make it very interesting, you know. And maybe we'll have... I've got an influx of doggies here, you can hear their footsteps. This doesn't have to be anything particularly interesting, but just a few. Make it very interesting, you know. I decided just to leave the background. Now, one of the things I want to do, now that I've done a bit of work here, and I could sit here all day, but I am actually running out of time now, like actually running out of time. I wanted to wait, and I did this little test run here with the claws on this marker, and I'm going to use this marker because now these claws of his or hers stand out like a sore thumb. So I want to sort of add in some lines here, and I'm not going to outline the entire piece because I think it'll take away from what we're doing, but what we do want to do is add in enough so that everything's tied together and it looks like it all belongs in the same piece, but also just to define certain areas as well. I'm not actually going to touch much of our coatie here because he's quite soft and fluffy, and you know, we want to keep that sort of soft fluffiness, but what I do want to do is just give him a little bit of an outline here and there, and in certain places we can add in a few sort of hairs and, you know, bits and pieces, and see, it's really just to tie him in with what's going on. So I'm using the very tip of the brush here, and I'm just gonna kind of outline them. That's not very technical, Gem. And we can do the same in here, and we can be very lazy here with our fine liner and just pick up some of those parts of the wood. I'd also quite like to pick out some of these darker areas in here. I just love the fact that this fine liner's drying in and it doesn't look as if it's, you know, just sort of standing out there on the paper. And I think I'm going to call it quits at that. This is the type of thing, anytime I get coloured pencils in a box, I want to spend like 16 million years doing everything and making it perfect. But I think for a sort of semi-illustrative style, I've done a reasonable job here. Our wee coatie looks really cute. He just looks absolutely adorable, even though he looks a little bit sad. And I've had immense fun with these. I really like these pencils. I did a little bit of investigating. They do come in a set of 72 now. As far as I'm aware, they're still not available open stock, but it looks like that might be coming. The prices on the Derwent website are astronomical, and that is usually the case. I have actually found it's easier to get Derwent products cheaper elsewhere than actually from Derwent, and the reasons for that I will let you ponder your good selves. But overall, these are great pencils. I love them. My Golden Sun has been a casualty, though. There was a lot of breakage in that, and if I just pick, for example, the black that's only had a little bit of sharpening, I've lost a huge chunk of pencil just doing this one picture. So in total, this has taken me about 4 hours, and as I say, I could keep going, but I don't think the paper would take much more. It's really started to curl quite badly, and there's areas where the tooth has been really flattened, like in here, for example, where I've put a lot of dark pencil. So I think that we could maybe have done more had this paper been a little bit thicker, but for the purposes of the Scrawler Challenge, this has been perfect. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I'm also really excited about this brush liner, but that's just me. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I'd love to hear what you've done for your Scrawler Challenge as well, and I just want to thank you for coming and hanging out with me. So please stay safe, take care of each other, and I shall see you back in the cave on Sunday for another video. So have a great day, everyone, and bye bye for now.